All right, in this video, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm approaching 2,500 subscribers, and just about a year and a half ago, I had around like 500. Never would have thought in about a year and a half that I could have gained another 2,000 subscribers. So this is not a big deal to big time YouTubers, but it is for me, and it's what's keeping me motivated to bring you more math and KLWP tutorials. I do plan on making some changes over the next year, maybe incorporating a few more things depending on what y'all request. I have had some requests for other Android apps just recently. I think 2 or 3 requests over the past month and a half. I just got one yesterday for Lightning Launcher. I'm learning Java. I'm trying to teach myself how to do a little bit of Java stuff because I'm interested in developing apps for Android. Nothing crazy, but it seems like it's perfect for me because I'm a math-minded individual. So maybe I'll incorporate some of that stuff in there. It depends on what I learn. But I'm real busy. I teach, 40 hours. I work 40 hours a week teaching at 2 colleges. I tutor math on the side. And then, I do spend a good chunk of my time providing tutorials for y'all on top of raising a 2-year-old son with my wife. It's good. And I want to say thanks. So to my YouTube family, here we go. A prize challenge for KLWP and math folks. Here we go. Rule number 1, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so now. That's the first rule. The math challenge, we're going to solve a math doku / kin puzzle. I'm going to show you how to do that. Submission conditions do apply, so hang out towards the end of the video for more details. Also, I got to give you the puzzle too, right? The KLWP challenge, create a Ferris wheel with globals galore. There are certain criteria that must be met. Hang out for more details. I'm going to cover that towards the end. And there's going to be 2 prizes, one for the math and one for the KLWP piece. And I'll submit those through PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, get it. It's free. I can send you $10. I know it's not much, but like I said, I am a teacher. But I hope you enjoy this. Both of these are kind of brain teaser kind of things, actually, the KLWP one and the math one. So, even if you're not into the math stuff and you're into KLWP, you might be able to solve something like this. This is not the puzzle for you to solve. This is the one for me to show you. I'm going to show you the puzzle you need to solve in a moment. Math doku or kin is like Sudoku. You look at your square, and since we have a 4x4, you see your 4 little regions in here? That means we can use the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can't use anything else. No zeros, no 5s, or anything like that. And once you use a certain digit in a spot, for example, if you notice this little square right here, see this dark line here and this dark line here? That square right there, it has a 3. That means a 3 has to go in that spot. But you'll notice that some of these other regions are a little bit differently shaped. Like one like that. That one's shaped a little bit differently. It's like an L shape. We have a rectangle right here. Look at this guy right here. Ooh, what's that? What do you think goes in that spot? A 1. You guessed it. All right. Once we put a number, once we've used a 3 right here, we can't use a 3 anywhere else in this row or anywhere else in this column. But we have to use the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, but they can only show up once in every row and every column. So since I've already used a 3 in this row, we can't use a 3 here, here, or here. And so since we've already used a 3 in this column, we can't use a 3 here, here, or here. I hope that makes sense. The same thing is going to apply to all of them. So since I've already used a 1 in this row, I can't use a 1 anywhere else. And I can't use a 1 anywhere else right there either because I've already used a 1 in that column. So that means I'm going to have a 2, 3, or 4, or 2, 3, or 4, or 2, 3, or 4, etc. Now, how do we solve this? Well, here's how I take an approach. And I'm going to go through slow with this one. Trust me, the one coming up, it's going to take you a minute. I don't think you're going to be able to sit down and solve it in 5 minutes. But what I'm going to do, since I've already used a 3 here, I know I got a 1, a 2, and a 4 left in this row. So I'm just going to go fill that in. So I've used a 3 in this column. That means I have a 1, a 2, and a 4 left there as well. Not only that, but we have to pay attention to the math part of this piece. Other things, okay, what can we do here? Ooh, can I use a 1 actually? I know I said I got a 1 left in this column, but can I use a 1 in this row since I've already used 1 here? Nope. So that 1 needs to go away. That leaves me with a 2 or a 4 left right there in that spot. What else can we fill in? Well, let's look at this column right here. What can we use here? We have a 2, 3, or 4 left because we definitely cannot use a 1 anywhere else in this column, which means I can definitely erase that 1 right there because I can't use a 1 anywhere else in that column. What else can I use down here? I have a 2, a 3, a 4. Now you got to use a little bit of logic, a little bit of critical thinking maybe, but if we look right here at this region here, notice that rectangle, the two numbers inside of here, when you look at that right there, that means those two numbers have to divide to give you 2. So it could have been 2 divided by 1 gives you 2, or 4 divided by 2 gives you 2. But that's the only way you can use these 4 numbers and divide them to get a quotient. That's what you get when you divide 2 numbers, but to get a quotient of 2. So we'll look at this yellow box again, a 3. There's no way I can use a 3 with a 2 or a 4 to divide and get 2. So a 3 cannot go in this little region right here. That means since I have to use a 3 somewhere else in this column, the 3 has to go down there in this spot right there. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make that a little bit more bold. That way I know not to erase it. All right, so we got a 1 and a 3. That means we have a 2 and a 4 left there. What else can we do here? Okay, we got to be able to subtract to get 1. Well, we got a couple of conditions there. Either we can take 3 minus 2 to get 1, or we can take 4 minus 3 to get 1. Think about that. We can't use a 1 in this spot. No way. No way that's going to work out because 4 minus 3 will give us 1. This right here means you have to be able to use the two numbers to subtract and get 1. That does not mean 1 minus 3. That's not what it means. I know it's set up a little bit weird, but this means you have to be able to subtract to get this answer. So either 4 minus 3 or 3 minus 2. Those both will give you 1. All right, some other things that we can work out here. Just kind of going around. Okay, what else can I use in this column here? Well, let's see. We've already used a 1. I said column, but this is a row. I think I said column. But in this row, I still got a 2, a 3, and a 4. I can use a 2, 3, or 4. Oh, I see something else. I don't know if you do, but check this out. So let me write that a little bit neater. Check out this region here. These 3 squares inside of that region, overlined by these these dark lines, they have to multiply to give you 16. There's no way I can use a 3 in there to multiply these 3 numbers to get 16. No way. So where does a 3 have to go? If I can't use a 3 there, I know I can't use a 3 here because of that 3 messing up. So I can't use a 3 here. Oh, duh, we've already said that. But I can't use a 3 here. I can't use a 3 here. I can't use a 3 there because I already got a 1 there. That means the 3 must go in that spot right there. All right. Check out what we have left. So I've used a 3 in this row and this column. I've used a 3 in this row and this column, and I've used a 3 in this row and this column. There's only one spot left, and it's right there. You have to use a 3 in every single row and every single column, but it can only be used once. So a 3 has to go right there in that spot. All right, so let's look through here. Have I got rid of all my 3s? I don't have any 3s written anywhere or anything like that. Of course, your approach may be a little bit different for this. What do I have to do with this spot? I have to be able to take these 2 pieces and subtract them to get 1. So that's either going to be 3 minus 2 gives me 1, or I can take 4 minus 3 to give me 1. All right, what else do we have here? So, got to use a 2 and a 4. Let's figure out what goes in this spot down here. What can we use in this spot? We can either use a 1, a 2, or a 4. All right, so looking at this is a little bit crazy. I'm sure there's another way to solve this, but here's what's going through my brain right now. Look at this yellow region that I never got rid of. Notice the only numbers I can use in here are 1s, 2s, and 4s, so to speak. Now, I'm going to have to use a 1 in one of these spots, right? Because I can't use a 1 here, and I've already used my 3 there. I can't use a 1 there. So I'm going to have to use a 1 in one of these spots. Well, if we did put a 1 right here, that means the only other two numbers that would work would be a 4 times a 4, because 4 times 4 times 1 gives us 16. Well, we can't have these two 4s in the same column. That's a big no-no. So I can't use a 1 there. That means the 1 has to go in this spot right here. So I'm just going to put a 1 like that. All right? Now, since this is a 1, the only other two numbers I have left to use, I can't use a 2 here and I can't use a 2 here, because I'm going to have to be able to multiply these three numbers to get 16. The only other thing I can do here is to put a 4 here and a 4 here based on those numbers that I have left. So a 4 there and a 4 there. And you may be thinking, uh-oh, I thought you can't use a 4 in the same row or the same column. I'm not. I didn't say anything about using the same number within a region, but notice these two 4s are on different rows and they are in different columns. So those two 4s are fine, and that's exactly where they need to go. Hope that makes sense. So since we've used a 4 here, we can't use a 4 anywhere else in this column. That means a 2 has to go there. And plus, maybe you did realize, once we put a 4 in there, we got to have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4 in that row. What do we have left down here? 1, we got a 3, we got a 4, means we got to put a 2 in this spot. Got to, because you got to use a 1, 2, 3, and 4 in every single row and every single column. Since I've used a 2 in this column, heck, I can come over here and what goes in this spot? Look at that column. A 1, right? That's the only number we have left. So a 1 goes in that spot. What do we have left to use? Okay, I've used a 2, right? I've used a 2 in this column, so I can't use a 2 in that spot because I've already used a 2 in this column. That means a 4 must go there. What number do I have left over here then? How about a 2? What number do I have left here then? How about a 4? Notice what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of going back in and scribbling in and erasing the notes that I've made. And so what do we have left here in this column? I haven't used a 1 anywhere, so a 1 must go there. And then last but not least, the 2 must go right there. And that's somewhat a good looking 2, but there we go, there's the 2. So we have just solved that kin puzzle. Again, it depends on how many squares you have on each side. It'll be a square. Here is your challenge, math folks. Bam! All right. We have an 8 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can use a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me go ahead and get you off to a start. How about a 5 has to go right there? How about a 2 has to go right there? Am I missing any other easy ones to get you off to a good start? I ain't saying this is the best start, but I think that's the only ones that we can really roll with right there. So, you know, that does get you started at least, because notice our region, our little square, is just bounded by that. So we got to use a 5 there, which means we can't use a 5 anywhere else in that row or anywhere else in this column. The same thing applies for the 2. We can't use a 2 anywhere else here or anywhere else here. But remember, once you do this, you must have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in every single row and every single column, but it can only be used once in each row and each column. I hope that makes sense. Have at it. I'm going to show you how to submit this in a second. For my KLWP folks, actually I'm going to show you how to submit it right now. Submissions. For the math challenge, the Sudoku or Math Doku Kin, you must add a picture of your written solution that is signed. Basically, I want you to work it out and I want you to sign it. You know, put your John Hancock on it or whatever. That way, nobody else is going to copy it. I mean, you know, I am a teacher. I don't say people cheat, but I mean, do it, work it out, sign it, take a picture, and leave a link in the comment section below. The winner will be the first correct solution I receive. First correct, notice that. Please do not email it to me, and please do not Google Hangout it to me. The only way I'm going to check the submissions are in the comment section below. Leave a link to the picture with the written solution with your signature on it. That way I can verify it's you, and I can also cross-reference and make sure that you subscribe to my channel. All right, KLWP challenge. Make a Ferris wheel. There are criteria. The carts must obey gravity. You must have a global for speed. Oh, what the heck. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So here's the Ferris wheel, and let's go over those conditions one more time to make sure that we do understand what I want you to submit. Basically, I'm going to want you to submit something that looks somewhat like this. The carts must obey gravity. Notice as these carts rotate, they are obeying gravity. Now you may see a little bit of jaggedness in the animation. That's probably because of the rendering from the Samsung side sync to the computer, but everything does look pretty smooth on my cell phone. But notice the carts aren't flipping over. I mean, that green, the seat part, if you will, always stays facing towards the ground. That's what I mean by obeying gravity. You must have a global for speed. You must have animated lights that stay on the, you must have animated lights that stay on the support bar. See these lights going in and out? It looks like they're on the little support bars, kind of, sort of, right? You also need a global for Ferris wheel size and for cart size, two separate globals. Lastly, you need to have a global to adjust lights when the Ferris wheel size changes. Let me show you all that stuff real quick to give you an idea, give you some hints, push you in the right direction. Technically, I think from all my tutorials I've given y'all so far, you probably could make this depending on if you've watched all of them or not. Now, is this thing going to animate? Yes, it is. Okay. You don't have to put all of these globals that I have in this. You don't have to put globals for your lights if you don't want to. But what was one thing I talked about? Globals for speed. You know, so speed, if I bump the speed up, this thing's going to start cruising. Oh, that's making it slower. My bad. I bump it down this way. See how fast it's going now? I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So global for speed. Global for size. Here's what I mean about size. Notice as I change this size, everything still stays kind of together. But once I change the size of the Ferris wheel, I need to change the size of the cart separately so I can preserve and still make it look somewhat like a Ferris wheel. Now you don't have to do this or any of those thickness. That's just me adjusting thicknesses of the bars. You don't have to do that, but the carts must obey gravity. You must be able to change the size of both of them and still preserve the rotation, and everything still looks like somewhat like a Ferris wheel. The lights, let me talk about the lights. Let me bump the size back up a little bit so you can see it. And what motivated me to do this, by the way, I had a request for this, for making a Ferris wheel, making everything set up correctly. And I thought as I was approaching 2,500 subscribers, I was like, this is a perfect challenge for you all to partake in, especially those of you who like animating in KLWP. So light size, don't worry about the lights. You don't have to do globals for that. What else do we have? Okay. Notice as I adjust the size, did you see how the lights kind of stayed put? If you adjust the size, I don't want to see the lights shooting out here. So there are ways that you can do that. As a matter of fact, I don't have to see all this stuff, but if you change the size, I do want the lights to change with the size. And again, if you didn't catch that, let me go back and adjust that size one more time. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. If I make it a little bit smaller, notice the lights do not shoot out. So if I save this, go back to the home screen, yeah, the cart's big right now, but notice those lights are still staying within that Ferris wheel circle. Now, obviously, what I'd have to do here to make this look somewhat reasonable is to adjust the cart size down. But once I do that, you know, save this, go back to the home screen. I mean, hey, I still got a Ferris wheel that looks remotely okay, I guess you can say. Is that all the conditions? Let me double check and make sure I covered everything. Obeying gravity, global for speed, the animated lights must stay on the support bars. You saw that. Global for Ferris wheel size, cart size, I showed you that. And then the lights must stay put. I don't want them shooting out of the Ferris wheel. How do you submit this? So the submission must be a screen recorded video of your Ferris wheel, and you must show that all the criteria are met. Basically, record the video, let me see it animate for a couple seconds, open up KLWP, show how you're adjusting the size of the wheel, the cart, and also showing that the lights stay put. And just make sure you're showing me all those conditions are met so you can actually go into the advanced editor in your video and show me that. Also, what I recommend doing here, I mean, there's going to be kind of hard for people to, I'm not saying y'all going to cheat. Nobody's going to copy somebody's work, right? But if it's okay if you want to put your name as a text somewhere in the preset. That way, I can match that name up with your name that you're submitting the video through, and then I can make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Because again, that's rule number one. Please subscribe. I want y'all to keep motivating me to do what I'm doing because I enjoy it. I just want to make sure it's helping y'all. AZ recorder works great. AZ screen recorder for recording your screen. I will not accept KLWP files. Please don't email me these. Please don't Google Hangout me these. I have, no lie, I don't even know how many KLWP things. Now, I don't mind y'all sending them to me for me to look at them and stuff, but I have a list of those growing that people want me to look at and go over for them. That's the way I make some of these tutorials. So I have plenty to keep me busy, and I want those. I want to look at those, the ones that people need help with, but I get those on an as-needed basis when I'm starting to work on your preset, and I don't want to get those mixed up with these submissions. So the way you submit it, the only way I'm going to determine if or a winner is based on the submissions that I see in the comment section. So again, you want to you can add it to YouTube, tag me in it or something like that, or just link it in the comment section below. That way I can go have a look at it. Both submissions, I'm looking for submissions in the comment section below. That's the easiest way for me to keep track of this. And yeah, there you have it. Again, thank you so much for your support over the past year and a half. I'm looking forward to another year, year and a half, or however far along KLWP, Math, Tasker, whatever else, Android, whatever this channel grows into. Again, thank you so much, y'all. And that's it for this video. I hope it helped.